Plaintiff Malaiya Marvel says the defendant did her dirty by hanging on to 3 wigs and a costume she was counting on for a big drag competition. She's suing for $830. Co-plaintiff Linda Jo says the defendant was supposed to style 2 wigs for her, and they came back looking hideous. Her claim is included in the $830 lawsuit. Defendant Gemma Stone says the plaintiffs are just flipping their wigs because they can't handle her success.
Oh boy, what is your case?
Okay, thank you, Judge. Well, you know, I'm a queen of queens in Milwaukee, and everybody knows that you have to be prepared. So your hair is your crown.
Yes.
And when I come out, I make sure my hair looks right, my makeup looks right, my costumes look right, everything needs to be right, and you know you're gonna get a good performance. So that's why I get the bookings, that's why I get the coins. And Gemma was working in the bar. She wasn't even performing, she wasn't doing nothing, but looked like a rat behind the bar.
I had been an established drag queen since 2012. So I have been doing drag much longer than both of them.
And I heard that she could kind of style wigs. So I was like, okay, she wants to get in the drag, I'm gonna help her out. So I let her restyle some of my wigs, like $50 a pop for a while. And, you know, she was doing a good job. So we brought her into the inner circle. We wanted to make sure she was getting, you know, a little bookings. And Gemma was supposed to do a wig for me, and I paid her the $50 for it, whatever. It was a $250 wig.
That's a lie.
And she did not return the wig. So I was like, okay, that's my girl. I know she's going through some stuff, whatever. I'm gonna be lenient. But when you're in the drag world, you have to win competitions. You have to get out there and make people see what you're doing and make sure you do a good job. So this competition was coming up, and it was very important. I told her I needed 2 wigs from her. It was 6 weeks of competition, 12 outfits, 12 wigs. Gemma, can you do 2 for me? Cool, girl, I got you. Never got the wigs. So I ended up losing a week of competition, and you know, it threw off my whole game. So I got my sister, who depends on me. You know, I got food, I got rent, I need to get these bookings. And if people see me go out looking a mess because I have to wear old costumes and old wigs because Gemma's not doing what she's supposed to do.
I am known as the wig master. I take crusty, old, dusty wigs and I make them into beautiful hats for drag queens. I do it as a favor a lot of times to
She does it
friends.
because she's jealous.
Yes.
I'm jealous.
When did you give her the wigs to work on?
Oh, the wigs for the competition I gave her back in April.
And so how long has she had the wigs then?
I still haven't gotten the wigs.
So 6 weeks?
She got 1 wig.
No, I still haven't gotten them.
There was never a timeline set forth where we agreed to have them done by
There
a
was
certain
definitely
time.
a timeline
She said,
set
take
forth.
your time.
And what is your case?
Now, I also gave Gemma some wigs to style, and these wigs just look a mess. They are not what I asked for, they're not what I wanted. I didn't give her specific instructions, but I wanted something coiffed and something pretty, and I couldn't do anything with those wigs. You see the wig she styled over there, and then this is what she made for me.
Well, first of all, those wigs did not leave my possession in that sort of order. So those have been dragged across the country in a suitcase all the way to Connecticut. So you cannot tell me that that's what they look like when I gave them back to you.
Yes.
And they're just mad because I was able to get the bookings at the same bars that took them 4 years to get. I did it in 4 months. So that's why they're mad.
You only got those bookings because of us.
Is that what it was? Is that
yeah,
what it was?
that's
or was
what
it
it was.
good networking skills?
Okay, so did I not book you in your first shows in Milwaukee? Did Linda not book you in your first shows in
was
Milwaukee?
the show director.
Did we not
Okay,
introduce you to the show director?
As far as the wigs in question that Malaiya gave to me, she did give me 3 wigs.
Yes.
She has received 1 of those wigs back styled. There was never a deadline. There was never a contract. There was never any money paid
was a
to me.
deadline.
It was an agreement that I said, tip me. Take care of me. We're
Because
sisters.
you messed up my other wigs.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yes.
She hasn't been
Because she
paid?
had already had wigs that she hadn't previously finished. And she was going to do that as a favor to me because she knew I needed a deadline for June 3rd, which we agreed upon. You knew that was the finale of the competition, and I did not get those wigs.
These are the wigs that were delivered to me. So if you can see here, these are plastic synthetic fibers. They're very hard to manipulate when they've been used, when they've been set, when they've had heat added to them and hairspray. And then top it off with these sweaty bitches over here. Every time they get out on stage and dance, it messes them up more.
It's not.
My
She
apologies.
just says that because nobody wants to come see her perform because she walks back and forth when her shoes fall off walking.
At least I know how to lip sync.
Ooh.
Your Honor, these wigs, the blonde one has been returned to her fully styled. In fact, she wore it. There's photographic evidence to prove it. She knows I've been going through all kinds of stuff. I'm recently getting out of a very long-term relationship. I couch surfed for 3 months while I was in the process of buying my first house. Just got in. They knew all
Why
of this.
wouldn't you just return the wig and say, I don't have time to do it now?
I kept her updated. Every step of the way. I said,
No,
I don't
she
have
did
time to
not.
do it this week. I can get to it next week if I have time. And she said, take your time. No worries. No rush. I have plenty of hair.
You're assuming because she didn't get them back to you in time.
Yes.
Why didn't you say, if you don't have time to do it, send them right back?
Because at that point she had already washed the wigs and she had already taken some of the setting out of them, and I didn't have the ability to get them ready in time.
Okay. All right, so I see two different elements to this case.
Yes, because I made pads for Gemma.
What are pads?
Hip pads. So hip pads they give you the
gotta let
illusion
them
of
know.
having hips and a body of a woman. And I make the best pads in Milwaukee. The girls know that I make the best pads in
Questionable.
Milwaukee.
You better speak
I
on it.
do. And she was like, hey, will you make me some pads? I told her, of course. And she was gonna style 2 wigs for me. These are the wigs I got. I made her pads perfect. We did 2 different sizing. It takes over like 3 to 4 days to make these pads.
When you do drag, you put on the pads to give you a more feminine
Yes.
figure. Is that
Yes,
it?
Your Honor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And see, she sent me photos of her in the pads. She said she actually probably has on the pads right
I
now.
actually don't. I have my pads that
I
actually
don't
fit my
need to.
body.
This is me making the pads.
Well, you do it very quickly, apparently.
Well, this is a time lapse, so if you can't really
Yeah, I
tell
figured
because I put
that.
a ring light on it, but this is from day to night.
It only
I spent
takes her
all
3 days
day.
because she takes like 12 different naps during the process of doing it.
That-
She'd have it
I
done in
was awake this
45
whole time.
minutes.
Okay. And
And this
This is-
actually went viral on TikTok from
Yeah.
me making these pads.
yeah.
And this is what they look like when you put them on. So you
That's
start
what
off.
hers look like when she puts them on.
Okay, my pads are just as good as yours. The pads I made for you are probably better than my pads because I
The
spent more time
pads
on
she
yours.
made for me, Your Honor, made me look like I have a. Do you know what a is?
I'm about to find out.
It's a front butt. It's like too much up here and not enough back here. It was sabotage.
Oh, absolutely not. We did a fitting together and I reshaped the pad just to make sure she didn't have any extra padding in the front so it would be nice and smooth on her hips and gave her a nice
And I
big
trusted her. I
butt that
said,
she liked.
"Does this look good?"
She
And
loved
she
it.
said,
I think we
"Yes."
even have the text message where she said, I love it, they look great.
You got your hands full here, Judge.
My hands are staying right where they are.
Your Honor,
Yes.
can I point out, so there's a photograph here of a wig, a gently used wig
Yes.
that I had restyled back in April. It was April 5th that I posted this online, and I posted it for $100. Now, when I do these, I'll have multiple people respond saying, is this available? The very first person to respond was Malaiya.
Because at that point I still trusted her.
Malaiya ended
I
up
didn't-
buying the
I
wig
did
after
not-
me after she decided to sue me for the other wigs. And
I didn't decide to sue you until after.
then the very last page, evidence packet D, April 29th, Malaiya wearing the same wig she bought off me.
And I looked stunning. And you could never.
Yeah, because I made it.
This is why I won the competition, not because of Gemma.
Okay, go ahead.
See, that's what my wig originally looked like.
It's also funny, that was my costume I gave to her.
Yes, that I
I'm a
paid
good
for.
friend, Your Honor.
I paid $250 for that costume. Yes. I win because I am amazing.
Or because they felt bad because you fell.
It's hilarious. And you walk and people leave the bar.
So here's what the lawsuit's about. You sued Gemma for $830. $600 has to do with the 3 wigs. $200 has to do with you not being satisfied with the work she did on 2 of the wigs that have been returned to you. And $30 had to do with what you're saying is an outfit that has not been returned.
So actually, I work with my drag mother, and she does a lot of different costuming, this, that, and the other. So when I was learning, she was teaching me, and it's very important to me. I let Gemma borrow things.
She
and
has
she
never
knows that.
let me borrow
she
a
knows
costume
that. She
that has
knows
not
that.
been returned to her.
She knows that.
You're
She
saying
is
she has a
lying.
costume that you loaned her and she
Yes,
still
she has a
has.
costume that
You're
I loaned her
under-
that I
She's saying
sewed
she
myself.
doesn't have that.
Gemma also said that she got
Well,
my
I
wigs on
need to
time.
have proof for that. She says she doesn't have it. There's no proof in that, so I'm dismissing the 30 right off the bat. I'm not going to grant you the 200 for not being satisfied, and the reason is people that are unhappy with the service that they purchased, particularly if it's in the artistic area, as this obviously is, that is so subjective, and therefore on that 200 of the $830 I'm going to dismiss. Here's my question. Will all 3 wigs be returned?
One has already been returned fully
Okay,
styled.
so we're talking about 2 wigs.
She can have this one back right now.
Okay.
Because I'm done with it.
And the
Do you see how nasty this is?
Yes.
This is after I already started working on it.
Okay, what I will say is that You having those wigs interfered with her being able to have some shows.
She won that
And
competition, Your Honor.
therefore, the wigs are to be returned, and I'm going to fine for the plaintiff in the sum of $200.
Judge Jerry's verdict, I agree. He did what needed to be done. Gemma is a scam artist, and she's trying to come up off of people who have been established in the scene a lot longer than she ever will be.
I think I was brought out here, and I'm merely the victim of petty bullying.
Thanks for watching. Now please approach the bench. The way I look at it, you have two options here. Option A, watch more Judge Jerry. Option B, watch more Jerry Springer. The choice is yours. Now get out of my courtroom. You have more clips to watch. And don't forget to subscribe.